A factor is a data structure that is used to work with categorical data. Factors are not different from characters, but they take limited number of values. For example, variable marital status is a factor variable with 4 levels: single, married, widowed, and divorced. In this case, we know the possible values beforehand, and these predefined distinct values are called as levels of a factor. Another example of factor variable is name of states in the country. We know the names of the states beforehand, and these are predefined distinct values. Similarly, gender is a factor variable, blood type is a factor variable. Now, can you think of any character variable that could be used as a factor in your data analysis? Please let me know by writing your answers in the comment section. Okay, so let's open the RStudio and create some factors. Factor variables can be created using factor function. Here is an example. We have this character vector called Indian states, which we want to convert into factors. So let's use the factor function and pass on the character vector into it. We will save this factor variable into a separate object called Indian states factor. Now if we print out the factor variable, we will get two outputs. On the first line of output, you will see all the vector items. But notice how the characters are printed out. There are no quotes around characters. On the second line of output, you will see the factor levels. These are all the predefined possible values we know beforehand. These levels are printed in alphabetical order. All the levels are not shown in the output, so we will use a levels function to check the factor levels. And here they are, all the levels are shown in the alphabetical order. You can check the class of a factor variable using a class function. Here it is, the class of the factor variable is a factor. The factors can be accessed in the same manner as vectors using the single square bracket notation. Pass on the index position of an element inside a square bracket and you will get that element as an output. Again, have a look at how the factor elements gets printed out. The element name with the factor levels. Sometimes order of levels is also important. Have a look at this example. This is the income level of individuals. There should be clearly the order or ranking in this data, starting from low income level going up to a high income level. If we create a factor, then the factor levels will be shown as per alphabetical order. So we need to change this order now. So let's change the order. We can change the factor order using ordered function. Remember, we can only change order of a factor variable. So while using ordered function, make sure that you pass on factor variable to this function. So here the income is a factor variable. And then use levels argument and create a character vector sorted as per the order you want for factor elements. So the order can be ascending or descending. That depends on the data you are dealing with. In this example, we want ascending order, so we must start with low. Or if we want descending order, we must start with high. And if we execute this, you can see that the levels gets created in ascending order, starting from low and moving to high. We can also create factors out of integers. Here is an example. We have numeric vector named gender, and we can convert it into factor object. So if you check the class, it's a factor. But remember, if you convert numeric variable into factor, you will no longer able to perform arithmetic operation on it. because the class of the variable changes from numeric to factor. In this case, R has given us the message that it could no longer able to perform arithmetic operation because the gender is converted into a factor. A quick note before we close, why factors are created if there is character data available in R? The factors are created to carry out certain statistical analysis on categorical data. For example, in case of regression analysis, the factor variables are used to carry out the logistic regression on categorical variable. The factors are also handy if you are working with graphical data. The bar charts, for example, can be displayed in ascending or descending order using factor variable. Super! So far we talked about vectors, matrices, lists and factors. In the next video, we are going to talk about the most important data type you will end up using in almost all your data analysis work, the data frames. So I will speak to you in the next video.